Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Belief Stream podcast. My name is Sally. In my channel we will dive into the world of narcissism and its effects in our relationship and daily lives. In today's episode I'll be talking about the financial aftermath of narcissistic divorce. But first, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel, or follow me if you are listening on social media for more episodes on understanding and dealing with narcissism. So, divorce can be a difficult and emotionally challenging process, and the financial aftermath of a divorce with a narcissist can be particularly complex and stressful. Narcissists are often prioritize their own interests and desires over those of their partner or children, which can lead to continuous fighting and problems in the divorce proceedings. Here are some potential financial consequences of narcissistic divorce. Number 1. Legal fees. Narcissists may use litigation as a tool to control and manipulate their spouses. This can lead to prolonged and expensive legal battles, as the narcissist may try to wear you down with legal fees and court proceedings. Narcissists can be difficult to deal with during the divorce proceeding, as they will not agree for anything quite easily, and they will repeatedly refuse to agree to any settlements, or even they will make unreasonable demands, which can drag out the divorce proceeding and lead to prolonged legal battles. As a result, legal fees can become a significant financial burden for you. The narcissist may not be concerned about the cost of the legal fees, as they may have a sense of entitlement and view the legal fees as a means of exerting control over you. However, the mounting legal fees that can cause and financial stress may even force you to make confessions or make settlements to avoid further legal expenses, which I would not advise at all to do. It is important to understand that you don't work with just a narcissist. So, to mitigate the impact of legal fees, it is important for you to work with an experienced divorce lawyer or attorney who can help you navigate the legal process and find ways to minimize costs. The lawyer can advise you on strategies for negotiating settlements or for managing litigation in a cost-effective manner. Additionally, it may be helpful to explore alternative dispute resolution methods such as mediation, which can be less costly and time-consuming rather than the traditional legal battles. But again, that is not always the case with the narcissist. You may have to go through the legal process to get anywhere with the narcissist. Also, it is important for you to take steps to protect yourself and your financial resources during the divorce process. This may include, for example, creating a budget, tracking your expenses, closing any joint account with the narcissist, and establishing your own lines of credit, as well as taking a proactive approach to managing your finances and completely cut off the narcissist. And be sure that you work with your lawyer to achieve a fair settlement. A second potential financial consequences of narcissistic divorce is property division. So, narcissists may be more likely to hide assets or undervalue property or engage in any forms of financial deception during the divorce proceeding or during any child support proceedings. This can make property division more difficult and can result in unfair distribution of assets. So, during the divorce, the property division is a crucial aspect for the settlement, and this process involves identifying and valuing all assets, including real estate, investment, bank accounts, retirement accounts, and personal properties. Both spouses are entitled to fair share of the assets, which is typically determined based on factors such as the length of the marriage and each of the spouse income and each spouse contributions to the marriage. However, in a narcissistic divorce, the narcissist may try to hide the assets, property, and engage in any unethical legal activity that will help them to hide assets. They may use a variety of tactics to do this. For example, they may transfer assets to another third party, like a family member or a friend. And the second thing they will use as well, failing to disclose all the assets during the discovery process. And this happened to me. The narcissist was hiding assets assets instead of being transparent, hiding assets. Another thing as well, overvaluing debts or undervaluing assets. Another tactics the narcissist would use is selling assets at low market price to pretend that they are at loss. And another example is making false claims about the value or the ownerships of the assets. I want you to understand that these tactics can make it difficult for you to identify and value all the assets, which can result in the unfair distribution of assets. You may end up receiving a smaller share of the assets that you are entitled to, or may be forced to spend additional time and money and legal fees in order to uncover hidden costs. So to protect yourself during this narcissistic divorce, it is important that you work with an experienced lawyer and to be familiar with the narcissist tactics and to prepare yourself for that. The lawyer can help you identify and value all the assets and can work with you to uncover any hidden assets through the discovery process that lawyers, legal officials know how to do. And it's also maybe necessary to work with financial professionals such as forensic accountants to help you uncover any hidden assets and to ensure a fair distribution of assets. The third financial consequences of narcissistic divorce is alimony and child support. And so narcissists may be resistant to pay alimony or child support as they may view these payments as a weakness or as an opportunity to exert control over you. This can make it difficult for you to secure financial settlements. Alimony is another term used for spousal support, so it is just a payment one spouse makes to another and is typically determined by a judge and are based on many factors, including the length of the marriage and earnings capacity of each spouse and the standard of living established during the marriage. For the child support is a payment made by one parent to another to support the child after the divorce, and that amount of a child support is typically determined by guideline and a judge and some based on the income of both parents. That's dependent on the laws of different countries and the number of children and the factors in such as childcare expenses, etc. In narcissistic divorce, the narcissist will resist to make these payments because they want to be able to control you. So they may try to threaten withholding the child support payment or to force you to comply with their demands. Another thing as well, they may try to minimize their income, as I said earlier, and hide their assets to avoid paying child support. If you are facing such narcissistic divorce and concerned about securing child support payments or alimony, it is important to work with an experienced lawyer who can help you navigate the legal process and protect your financial interests, as well as it may be also helpful to document all the communication with your narcissist and seek the assistance of a therapist, a counselor, as well as a forensic accountant to discover any hidden assets that the narcissist is trying to hide from you in order for him or her not paying child support. The fourth financial consequences of narcissistic divorce is credit damage. A narcissist may be more likely to accumulate debt or engage in any forms of financial misconduct that can damage your credit score. This can make it difficult for you to secure credit loans, credit card or loans in the future. The financial aftermath of narcissistic divorce is a potential damage, and this can occur in few different ways. The first one is during the marriage. The narcissist may have accumulated debt that they did not disclose to you at the beginning, and this can include credit card debts, loans, or other financial obligations that they have taken without telling you. When the divorce proceedings begin, you will discover that you are more liable for a portion of this debt. Of course, if your name is on the debt, but if your name is not on the debt, that means you're not liable to pay it, and this can impact your credit score. Again, just disclaimer here, make sure you check with your lawyer or seek legal advice for any of this information, because every country is different and every state is different. Make sure you seek legal advice. This is not a financial advice at all. This is just for entertainment only, and I am just sharing my experience to help you and guide you, but you have to seek legal advice yourself and to have to find the right and correct resources to guide you. A second way as well that will affect your credit score is the narcissist may engage in financial misconduct during the divorce proceeding. For example, they may open new credit cards or take on loans in your name without your knowledge or your consent. They may also max out joint credit cards or drain joint bank accounts, leaving you with the responsibility for paying the debts. And these actions can damage your credit score and make it more difficult for you to secure loans or credit in the future. And finally, the stress and the trauma of the divorce can impact your credit score. If you become overwhelmed with emotions and financial stress and financial challenges of the divorce, you may miss payment or default on debts, which can negatively impact your credit score. It is also important to take steps to protect your credit during the narcissistic divorce, and this may include monitoring your credit report regularly, closing any joint bank accounts, and working with a financial advisor to create a plan for managing your finances during and after the divorce. It may also be helpful to work with a therapist to manage any emotional toll of the divorce and reduce any risk of financial mismanagement. This will lead me to the fifth financial consequences of narcissistic divorce, which is emotional toll. Emotional toll of a narcissistic divorce can also have a financial consequences as the stress that is causing you and the impact. It may affect your ability to work, manage your finances, or even make sound financial decisions. The emotional toll that narcissistic divorce can take on you is magnificent, and don't take it lightly. Narcissistic divorce can be highly stressful and a very traumatic experience, as the narcissist may engage in different tactics to try and harm you. These tactics, for example, gaslighting, manipulation, emotional abuse, or even a smear campaign to try and tear you down. The emotional impact of this narcissistic divorce can manifest in different ways in your life. For example, can make you reduced productivity. You're stressed out, you'll not be able to go to work, focus on work, or even can result in you potentially loss of income. Another thing can affect you health-wise, can make you have health issues. That huge stress that can lead any huge stress can lead to health issues such as anxiety, depression, which can result in additional healthcare costs if you are in America, and you may have to take time away from work. So you could see financial consequences of narcissistic divorce is magnificent, and if you are facing narcissistic divorce, it is important to work with an experienced lawyer who can help you navigate the legal fees, the financial consequences and challenges of this process. And it may also be helpful if you work with a financial advisor or a therapist to manage your emotional and financial consequences of the divorce. It is also important that during this period you do not contact the narcissist at all, and you just let your lawyer communicate with the narcissist. Another thing you could do as well is for you to prioritize your mental and emotional health. Seek support from a therapist or a mental health professional if you need to. I know every situation is different. I didn't have to, but if you feeling that you need to, please make sure that you go and find the professional help that you need. Working with a financial advisor can also help you understand the financial consequences of the narcissistic divorce and will help you create a plan to stand up on your feet again and to be able to maintain and to take control back of your life and independence. that's it for today's episode. I hope you found it helpful and educational. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel, as well as don't forget to leave a comment below and let me know what you think the financial consequences of narcissistic divorce, and share it with us here on the channel. Thank you very much for listening and see you next time. Take care.